Okay, this is 1.8a for geometry. The perimeter P of polygon is the sum of the lengths of its sides. So the perimeter is when we add up the sides. The area A of a polygon is the number of square units it encloses. And we'll see some of these formulas on this next slide here. So this gives us our formulas for all of our shapes that we're using right now, the square, rectangle, triangle, and circle, and we'll put those in use in these examples. So, finding the perimeter of a rectangle. The Botany Club members are designing a rectangular garden for the courtyard of your school. They plan to place edging on the outside of the path. How much edging material will they need? So, we figure out the dimensions of the garden, and there's a path included, and we need to go outside the path. So we need to make sure that we're including the path. So if we look here at those red numbers, the garden's 16 feet wide, but there's a 4-foot path on either side. So our width is going to be 24. And if we look at the blue numbers here, the garden is 22 feet, but then we have the 4-foot edging along the side. So our length turns out to be 30. Then our perimeter is going to be adding each of these sides up. To simplify that, we can just make it 2b times 2h, or we could also say 2l plus 2w. So we plug in and we get our answer. So why don't we give that a shot with our got it problem. You want to frame a picture that is 5 by 7 with a 1-inch wide frame. So there's a frame around it, and this distance is 1 inch. This distance here is 1 inch. This distance here is 1 inch, and this one here is 1 inch. So if I look at my length here, this stuff, no, that would be my width. So this here is 7 inches. This here is 1 inch and 1 inch. So it's going to be a total, this is what my picture looks like, this side is 9 inches all the way through. And then this guy is 5. And then I've got the 1 inch and the 1 inch. So that's going to be 7 total along that side. So now I can add that up for the perimeter of the picture. Oh, but they want the perimeter outside of the edge of the frame, which is what we were looking at now. So that'll be 7 plus 7 plus 9 plus 9, right, because this is 7 and this is 9. Or that's the same thing as 2 times 7 plus 2 times 9, which is 14 plus 18, which gives me 32. Yep. And then if we're just looking at the picture, so just the 5 by 7, that'll be 2 times 5 plus 2 times 7, which is 10 plus 14, which is 24. Okay, with circles, we name a circle like this, with that little circle out in front, and then the letter. So that would be circle A. And when we're using formulas for circles, we're using pi, which here's the start of the decimal for pi. Pi goes on forever. So you can use your pi calculator button, or if we're going to approximate, you can use 3.14. Alrighty. Circumference is the word we use for the perimeter of a circle, so the edge around the circle. So we have two different equations for it. C equals pi d, or C equals 2 pi r. D is the diameter, which is this guy. R is the radius, which is that guy. Only goes halfway through the circle. So A says, what is the circumference of a circle with radius? So I'm going to use my second equation. 24 meters in terms of pi. If they say in terms of pi, they want pi to be left in your answer. You don't need to calculate it out. So C is equal to 2 times, 2 pi times 24. It's the same thing as 2 times 24 pi which is 48 pi. I'm just going to leave my answer right in there. B, they don't want it in pi, so I would fully calculate that out. But B says, what is the circumference of a circle with a diameter of 24? So I'm going to use my first equation, C equals pi d, which is equal to pi times 24, which if I type that onto my calculator, I get 75 point, and they want to go to the nearest tenth, so 0.4. Alrighty, and then finding perimeter on the coordinate plane. If we're given points on the coordinate plane, we need to use our distance formula to find the side lengths, and then we add those together. So, I'm just going to give myself a rough sketch of this quadrilateral so I've got an idea of where it is. So J's down here, K's there, L's up here, and M's up there. So finding the distance, so finding JK is equal to the square root of my x2, so 1 minus -3 squared plus -3 minus -3 squared, which is equal to the square root of 1 minus -3 is the same thing as 1 plus 3, which is 4 squared, plus -3 minus -3 is the same thing as -3 plus 3, which is 0 squared, which is equal to the square root of 16, which is 4. So JK equals 4. I'm going to stick that up here. Well, no, we should have enough room. Okay, I will now find the length of KL. So that's the square root of, okay, my x2 is 1 minus 1 squared plus 4 minus -3 squared, which is equal to 1 minus 1 is 0, so that's going to be 0 squared plus 4 minus a -3 is the same thing as 4 plus 3. 4 plus 3 is 7, so this is 7 squared. The square root of 49 is 7. Okay, so, oh, I can draw this in probably. So this is 4. This is 7. Now I'm going to find ML. Oh, that was bad. ML is equal to the square root of 1 minus -3 squared plus 4 minus 1 squared. Okay, 1 minus -3 is the same thing as 1 plus 3, which is 4, so 4 squared, plus 4 minus 3, sorry, 4 minus 1 is 3, so 3 squared, which is equal to the square root of 16 plus 9. 16 plus 9 is 25, so it's the square root of 25, which is equal to 5. So ML is 5. I realize my picture looks like it's going to be a square, and clearly it's not if this side is 4 and this side is 5, but that's okay. It's just a rough sketch. And then MJ is equal to the square root of -3 minus -3 squared plus -3 minus 1 squared, which is -3 minus -3 is the same thing as -3 plus 3, so this comes out to be 0. -3 minus 1 is -4 squared, which is equal to the square root of 16, which is equal to 4. So this side is also 4. So then my perimeter is going to be 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7. 4 plus 4 is 8. 5 plus 7 is 12, so this is 20 units around. Here's a lesson check, which you're going to skip over, and here's your homework.